Hello everyone and welcome to this week's behind the scenes devlog video, and this week I'm going to be trying to make some more improvements to the UI. So the first UI that I want to change today is the placement UI, which gets shown when you're placing an object into the world from the shop, and the reason I want to change it is because it's circular and nothing else in the UI in the whole game is circular, so it really makes no sense for this one UI to be circular. So I'm going to change it into a more rectangular design, and I've just been planning that out in GIMP here, and now I'm going to try and implement it. Just finished implementing the new placement UI, and you can see that in the game here. So the background color of the icon actually changes to indicate whether you can place the object or not. So I can't place the tree in water, so you can see that it goes red here, but it goes green here to show that I can place it. Obviously the price is also shown, and the price will go red if you can't afford to place this object. And also you can see it does a little pulsing animation when you place the object, just to give the user some feedback to show that it's actually been placed. Next up, I've been doing a bit of work on the checklist UI, which shows you how much you've unlocked in the game, and I've just been working on adding a header section here, which is going to show you the name of the list that you're currently looking at, and also how much of that list you've unlocked. So as you can see, that is now all working. The title is showing and the count is counting. So that's the checklist UI finished, and it's on to the next one now. This evening I'm going to be doing a bit of work on these volume sliders here in the music tab, just going to change their design slightly. I don't really like that little triangle that they have, it doesn't really suit the style of the UIs, so I'm going to change that to a more rectangular design, and I'm also just going to generally tidy up the code for these components. So I have now done that. As you can see here, I think these sliders are looking a little bit nicer now, a bit more in the style of the rest of the UI, and that is pretty much going to be it for today. So far this morning I've just been working on trying to unify the design of all of the UIs in the game. So for example, you can see that the background colours are now all the same, the transparency is the same value. I've also added that blur effect to all the UIs, that blur effect that I implemented last week. And I also set up a class which defines some set font sizes, and now all of the text in the game uses one of those font sizes, so everything's just a little bit more consistent now. To finish off the morning today, I've just been doing a bit more work with the music tab and changing the design slightly. Previously it had those big yellow boxes, which was something that wasn't really used anywhere else in the UI, so I've changed that to panels now, which I think looks a little bit nicer. And I've still got some more work to do on this afternoon, but for now I'm going to have some lunch, and then after lunch I need to go shopping for a new tripod because my current one is broken. So I'm back from my shopping trip now, and as you can see I've got a nice new tripod here. It's a bit bigger than the last one, which is good because I always had to balance the old one on a chair, which was never very safe, hence it's now broken. And I also got this little tripod for my desk to do the close-up shots that I sometimes do. So I've just been doing a bit more work on the music tab, and I've just added one more bit of functionality to this. So you may remember that previously you could queue up songs to be played, and then whenever the current song finishes playing, it will take the next song from the top of the queue, and it will keep playing its way through all of these songs until the queue is empty. But I've now added this option here, and if you select this option, it will play these songs in the queue on loop. So when the top song from the queue is taken, it will automatically add it back to the bottom of the queue, and so the queue becomes kind of a playlist, and you can create a playlist of your favourite songs if you want to, and then they'll just be played on loop until you unselect this option. So lastly today I was just doing a few things away from the UI system. So I did the settings for the peacock species, and I also fixed one glitch with the movement for the sheep. But now I'm going to stop for some dinner, and today I thought it would be fun to have a go at making my own pasta. It is Thursday morning, and so far today I've just been doing some work on the notification UI, just tidying that up and fixing any last bugs with it. And I've also just been doing some editing for this week's devlog video for the stuff that I've filmed so far. This afternoon I've been redoing the UI for the biome picker tool, which is a tool that shows you how much of each biome there is at any point in the world. And I've come up with 3 designs for this that I'm quite happy with. I just haven't decided which of the 3 to use. So the first one is this here with the transparent background and the blur effect. Then the second one is with an opaque background with a border around it. And then the third one is pretty much the same, just with a lighter grey colour. So if you guys have any preferences about which one of these you think is better, then do let me know. So this evening I've still just been tidying up a few UIs, and I was working specifically on the breeding requirements UI, which shows you the requirements needed to unlock a new species. It's been a bit slow going today though. Some of the UI code that I wrote a couple of years ago when I started this project isn't the best. It's not inefficient or broken, it's just not that easy to work with. And I think the next time that I make a UI system I'll be able to do so much better, and I'm going to do so many things differently. But for now, there's not really much point changing all of the UI code because I'm so nearly finished, so I'll just have to keep working through it. But anyway, I'm going to stop for the evening now, and I'm going to meet a couple of friends in a cafe for a few drinks. Good morning everyone, it is 8:15 on Friday morning, and today I'm just going to be continuing on with the UI stuff, and I also want to get started on the next tutorial, which is going to be about low poly water. But unfortunately I'm not really sure how much I'm going to get done this morning, because an electrician's coming around in a minute and he's going to be drilling holes in walls and rewiring some stuff, and I guess he's probably going to turn off the electricity for that. So I might not be able to get too much done this morning while the electricity's off, but I think he should be gone by lunchtime, and then I can get to work this afternoon. So the electrician is now here doing some work in the corridor, and he's turned off the electricity. So I'm on my laptop now doing some work on the next tutorial, and I've got about an hour of battery left, and then after that I guess I'll have to do some reading or something. So I'm back to work now, the electricity's back on, and I decided to completely redo these requirement pop-ups so that I could make the code a little bit tidier, and they're definitely looking a lot, well, cleaner and tidier now. I'm still not 100% happy with them, but it's definitely an improvement. And the next thing that I want to do is to get these pop-ups to fade in and fade out, because at the moment you can see that they kind of appear and disappear very quickly, and it's a little bit annoying to look at. To finish off the morning, I have now implemented that fading in effect for these pop-ups, and I didn't quite get the fading out to work yet, but I'll do that this afternoon. But for now I'm just going to stop for a quick lunch. So this afternoon I've been working on a couple of things. Firstly, I did some work on the notifications again, and I made sure that notifications that go over multiple lines also fit inside the little notification pop-up. And I then did some work on the text system, and I allowed for text to be justified, so you can see that all the lines of the text here are lining up on the right and the left side of the text. And to do this I just changed the spacing between the words to make sure that the words always go right to the ends of the line and all the lines match up nicely. To finish off today, I've just been making a few more little tweaks and improvements to some of the UI. So for example, in the task UI, I was just cleaning up some of this. So for example, the text is now justified here. I also extended this line to match up with the edge of the text, and I replaced this help icon. This is the icon that you can click on to bring up the help panel. And then in the help panel, I changed the header to make it look a little bit more like the headers in the checklist UI, and just a few other little tweaks and changes like that. But for now I'm going to finish off for today and do a bit of comment and email answering. So it is Saturday afternoon, and today I've just been doing the editing for this week's devlog video, which is pretty much done now, just a little bit more to do, which I'll do tomorrow morning. But I need to finish off a bit earlier today because this evening I'm going to a friend's birthday party on a boat, and we're going to be sailing down the river through Berlin, so that should be pretty nice, and I'll probably put some footage of that in the background now so that you can see it. But in terms of Equilinox, that's pretty much going to be it for this week. Next week I'm going to continue on with the UI stuff, finish polishing off the last few UIs, and I should be able to get that finished in the first few days of next week, and then I'll move on to something a bit more exciting. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you all next time.